All right, Lawrence, you knew at some point in the show we would have to transition to your favorite topic, one that we've discussed many times, probably too much for some people, but we have to get to the kicking game. And look, I want to ask you because what's going on with Graham Gano is a little or a lot unusual. Okay, let me ask you
Yeah.
a couple of quick questions, and then we'll get to Graham. Okay, how many times when you kicked in the NFL, right, in a game, was there another kicker active with you? Ever?
Never.
Never.
Oh,
Okay,
wait, I
so
apologize. Wait. Yeah, one time. Uh, NFC, what was that? The divisional round against the Eagles. Remember when John Carney was in town
yeah.
uh, and had a great season after my injury in the summer. I was healthy by the start of the season, but John was kicking so well they kept him, and it was actually a really good year for me in terms of learning from a veteran. But having said that, that playoff game, which I still gives me nightmares that I didn't get a chance to kick those field goals in that playoff game because that was the single best team I've ever been on. But to answer, I got long-winded there.
Yeah, that's
That
okay.
playoff game, I was active with John Carney, and that's the only time that's ever happened.
Okay, but it's very unusual. So,
But
yeah,
that was
look,
a distance thing. That was not an injury thing. That was purely Lawrence, you kick off, and then maybe do some longer field goals, which we know didn't happen in that playoff game.
I get it. And Carney was going to take the
And
intermediate field
he
goals.
missed two field goals in that game, short like in the 40s, right? So not to bring up old stuff, but
No,
yeah.
no, I get it. But I'm saying because there's been a lot of discussion because Graham, three times in the last few years, he has either gone into a game, on the injury report and then gotten hurt in the game, right? We remember, Washington, I
Yeah.
guess, right? He comes in with a
Yeah.
groin and he kicks off the opening kickoff. He chases the guy down on a long return, hurts his hamstring. The Giants are left without a kicker, right? This year,
Yeah.
he got hurt. The Giants are left without a kicker. The punter has to kick, now he's on the injury report this week. I don't know how severe it is with a neck. Okay, neck for a kicker. Okay, maybe that's better than a groin or a hamstring. So, I mean, is this right criticism that the Giants either stuck with Graham, who's 38 years old and he has these injury issues, or that they go into a game, they have to activate two kickers because in case Graham gets hurt, because he has done that before, we need another kicker. Because you just don't see two kickers being active. So where are you on that? Because you're inside that debate.
Okay, so I will give the team the benefit of the doubt in some regards that when Graham says he's healthy on Saturday, right? Like I'm thinking of the hamstring injury, the groin injury. The coaches, based on his history, potentially now you do it, but like that's not their fault that Graham got hurt in pregame. It's not. I don't know. I tend to trust the kicker, but again, what I would have done this season is no disrespect, and I love Graham Gano, and he knows that he's a friend of mine. I would have cut him because of the money, and then just I just think there's been too much injury history with him over the last 2 or 3 seasons. And I have a great deal of respect for him. I want to make sure that's known. But again, from a business perspective, I definitely would have gotten a young guy. There was a lot of young talent in this draft, and guys that are capable. And you're seeing it with some young guys playing really well in the league right now. So I probably would have went that route strictly from a business perspective, not necessarily. Look, we know what Graham is capable of. He can hit it. He can still hit it at his age.